Thank you, Carrie, to practice. All conditions. Perfect. All conditions, the ones we like, the ones we don't like. All conditions, opportunity for awakening. To what? Not only the fog, not only the day, not only, but what? The moon in one's heart. The moon in one's heart, says Chogyam, if you have read chapter 3. What is that moon in one's heart? Well, in our Western tradition, we often see the moon as feminine. Um, and in the Tibetan tradition, it is reversed. It is the sun itself, this radiant, ever present, life giving. This is where the distinction is made in the Tibetan tradition, life affirming, life sustaining, all coming from the sun itself. The moon is then the protection in the night. The moon is the light in the dark, the that which is available to us at all times. Yes, we are moving on. Carrie's reminding me, I have not forgotten, that we are moving on to chapter 4 and 5 this week. We're going to look at it, not 6. As I looked at the material, there's some languaging. He's starting to use his beautiful English for some metaphors and some language in smile at fear that will potentially confuse us. How? Well, if we are not practicing, we are going to be certainly confused. So I began with a practice that I want to talk a little bit more about today. That practice was to be done every day. It wasn't just the 13-minute formal practice. What was it? Because I already know how this went, which is why we're going to start doing it together today. We're going to start doing it together.
Touch and go.
Touch and go was a part of our formal meditation. And then Carrie saying what's absolutely accurate, informal, on the spot, dropping in, seeing where we are, feeling into the body experience, right? This is an informal, on the spot, in real life, real time practice. You know what I'm meaning when I say this? As well. If you're only doing it for your 13 minutes once a day, it's going to fall apart on you anyway. It will count for growing that circuitry that we talk a lot about. It will count. There's no doubt about it. You will be conditioned for that wakeful awareness throughout the day. But it would be a little bit like me going to the gym 3 days a week and never using my arms the rest of the time. What would happen? I just let them hang there the whole rest of the time. I spent 90 minutes in the gym. I worked hard. I did. It'd make the 90 minutes harder, Libby said, wouldn't it? As a starter, what else would happen? What do you know about the body? It'd be good for nothing, right? What a waste. Atrophy, says Jim LaBelle, the good doctor. Atrophy at the least. Atrophy of the arms at the least. What's the worst? Atrophy of your heart mind. Atrophy, then what of your life? Is it true? You know it's true, isn't it? Atrophy. We spend a whole day in atrophy and then hope that our meditation practice can wake us up enough to last the whole of the blipping day. It's not possible, folks. It is what wakes us up. I agree with you. I don't know a better way to do it than the way we're going to do it today. But if we think that's it, check, as our brilliant Western minds have some right proclivity for doing, we're lost. And so then what? How many times a day do you have to do it so that we make every moment, ultimately, that's our aspiration, isn't it? Every moment then wakeful, every moment present. 10,000, 10,000 plus, right? Isn't it true? And then what you cannot do now is go sinking into some shamed, deficient, completely, right, atrophied, I just can't get it. No, we begin now. We begin here. We begin again. Wake up now, right? Just now. This is it. It's already perfect. And then just now, it's perfect. And so for those of you who forgot, because we're all forgetting and remembering, it is continuous. But remember, we're using the poison as the good medicine, right? To go, no, I left and I'm back. I just forgot and I remembered. So that's number one. So informal practice as relevant. Is informal practice alone enough? No, no, it isn't actually. You need that sustained wakeful attention to be able to then, on the spot in the day, remember, you won't be able to do it if you're not doing those at least 13 minutes. And then, right, they feed, nourish, nurture, integrate each other. Then we've got the practice in our beautiful heart minds on the spot. And then we've got them when we need it, when it was tucked back there, because I was just thinking about how to make those cookies, right? And that little task positive part of me just got forward. It's not the problem. We just want to bring it forward with that remembering, why am I doing this? What's important about it? Is it the cookie? No. Is it the care, the attention, the love, the commitment, the service, the offering? Yes. Did I ask you to possibly call some of that out last week? I said you might want to remember why you're bothering, right? It would be handy to remember. I'm going to do this because I want ease. I want peace. I want genuine connection. I want care for self and others. I want this world to be a more peaceable, united place, right? And then whatever you do from there, Chogyam says, is absolutely perfect. From there. If you're not sitting for 13 minutes, you cannot connect sufficiently with that wakeful, awakened, compassionate, and loving heart mind. Do you know why? You can't. It's not that it's not there, it is there. It never left. Why can't you connect with it though? Doesn't mean you can't remember it, but you can't be it, says the research. Why not? Already, Libby says, because one, we're already in the habit of old pattern mind, the one that just spins auto without our even having to try. We do not have to plug this one in. It runs batteryless. It's just already on the go. Why? We have an entire humankind as the battery. We have the lineages, we have all time, all peoples, all habits moving us along, right? It's like the wave has already been started. You don't even have to want to swim. You're in the reality of this habit natured mind coming throughout all evolution, all time. That's number one. What's the other reason? What's the other one? I'm not going to let Libby answer that one. Somebody's going to have to type it or say it or what? What's the other reason? What can you think of? the brilliance of the mind. The task positive network in that neocortex is also online, and it's also a habit. We have cultivated now to use this beautiful mechanism of awakened heart mind to get shit done. Yeah. Whoever's laughing back there, that's right. Is it right? It's correct, isn't it? What do we use it for? This amazing app for complete enlightenment, for awakening, for all compassion, all love. We're using it to go 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, 1 tablespoon of lemon, 1 egg yolk, and we forgot. It goes right smack to the background. All the reasoning, all the purpose, all the benefit, all the merit, always. Because it's one small section of the mind, right? And so then we all know this, don't we? We all know we could spend 10,000 hours, Carrie said, cultivating these amazing, masterful capacities without one lick of wakefulness. We know this, don't we? Without 1 ounce of heart in it. As good as it is, as beneficial as it has the capacity to be, nothing. Nothing. What we're mostly doing, for those of us who have these beautiful careers, is what? Feeding ego. Ka-ching for me. Yay, on there. Others notice. Yippee, bigger, even better. Running on autopilot, some more. Right? Ego feed, some more. Ego feed. Now I'm talking about all the things we don't do. The reason I invited then the vow that we're going to practice today, because nobody did it. It's not true. 2 people did it, I think. We're going to do it because that's the waking up. This is the beginning. See, the drawing of the hands together. What is it? Heart mind. Drawing them together, remembering them, bowing to them. Where are we placing the hands? Somewhere between head and heart. You find the spot. You find it. Where is it for me that I put it in front of my big mouth? Why? Well, remember that what comes out of there could be of benefit if I could draw these 2 pieces into oneness. And then what? Remember this capacity in me. Remember this capacity, drawing, collecting the energy of it together. Does that make sense? I have a tissue lip. Does everybody get what the bow is? We tend to misunderstand the bow, especially in our secular culture, as religious. Well, I don't know. Religious. I would say sacred, though. I think I would use that word. Did anybody see that word in the reading? I think you might have. You might have. Sacred. What's the difference then, before we sit, between sacred and religious? Type it in. Good. Glad the bow makes sense to you. If you're not doing it, do it mentally until you can get to the physical. And in fact, then we're going to work a little harder on that, Robin. We're going to spend the bow visibly or invisibly throughout the day for the same reason as the coming to wakefulness, right? It's a wake up for us. Let me open to this too. And remember, from Chogyam's point of view, there's nothing better for us to be doing than opening. Right? He says openness, opening, right? Including, really continuous. We're going to do the bow before we sit. Then I want you to practice this week bowing well. ultimately to everything. And now we can't do it. Our backs would hurt. We'd be doing it technically then really beautifully all day long. Out of this, out of this, out of the difficulty, out of the challenge, out of the teacher who looks like your enemy. Right? And I want you to see what happens when we do it. Emptying to fill again. That's exactly right. Empty of what, Dennis? What are we emptying?
Everything.
What is it, Lynn?
Oh,
I heard you. What? What are
every,
you emptying?
everything.
Everything, ultimately. Everything that can contribute to it, what we call obstacle, obscuration, right? The thing in the way of the radiant light of your wakeful, wholly awakened heart mind, right? And so we're going to begin today with that bow. And then I want you to begin tomorrow with that bow. And then Thursday, and then Friday, and then Saturday with that bow. I want you to see what it opens you to. And I want you to begin with you. With you. The first thing we bow to is the nobility, the preciousness, the interconnectedness, and the beauty of you. And then the whole rest of the day to everything else. Now that I have the right glasses on, to everything that is also sacred, wise, beautiful, challenging. I bow to it as well. And so I want you to find, you get to stay seated. In the Zen tradition, we always bow standing. You can practice. What's it like to bow when I'm sitting? How is that different? Then how does it feel differently than when I bow when I'm standing? Right? And so we're going to take our hands and feel the energy first in the hands. You can lower the eyes because you don't really need those, but I want you to feel the aliveness of the hands. And this, by the way, if you left the hands out and open like this, it is also a prayer mudra, isn't it? I'm just opening to the beauty, to the sacredness, to the oneness of it all. But that's not how we begin. We're going to begin by just making contact with the truth of that in that complete oneness. And then we're going to gather the energy as we draw the hands together. You're finding your midpoint. Some people do it near the throat. Some people do it a little near the chest or the heart. Some people do it up here. And then the only thing I'm going to ask is that you touch each finger to the other. This is that we're looking for a mirror, each finger touching the other, and then the thumbs actually tuck in. The thumbs do not stay out. They tuck in to safety, right? They're tucked in. So now we have the steeple, the church. Remember that beautiful little, right, that we did? Yeah. Okay. So find your spot. Run up and down that spine a little bit. Where's the place that feels, if you're a little laggy, they fall. The arms are not supposed to be resting on the body. The arms are not resting on the body. The arms are ready for action, right? And so in the Zen tradition, there's a lot of exaggerated pulling out of the arms. That feels a little artificed to me, so I never liked it because now and then your shoulders drop. So don't, right? Keeping the shoulders dropped, arms ready. Okay, then find your spot. And then just breathe that for a moment. Arms available. Feel into the uprightness of the preparation. gathering all the goodness within you, within this awakened heart mind, from left and right, above, below, and then the 10 directions, says the sutta, the 10 directions. That means 360 degrees all around you. Having established our seat, we bow to the nobility in us. We allow the hand to come closer. Mine is now up near my nose and my forehead. And then we raise it from where it landed. Oh, mine's a little bit higher. Drawing the complete interconnectedness. And then naturally, I rest my hands. Now, just letting the arms relax as I offer a blessing. And the blessing is always this: may this practice and its merits be of benefit. And then you get to name to who. Begin with you. You can picture the person or persons, you can call them by name. Because this provides beautiful motivation for the rest of our practice and the rest of our day. And then we relax the hands somewhere in the lap to begin our formal practice. I want you to just see how that feels. You have turned on the engine of your awakened heart mind. For this very practice and its benefits. And then we make contact with not only the hands resting, these are now the hands of the Buddha, resting in the lap of the Buddha. What are we holding in those hands, in that lap, and in this awakened heart mind? We are holding this whole awakened, precious, present, wakeful quality of being. And we're going to rest in it for a moment. And Ezra Beta, a friend of mine, breathes right into the heart space to remember. And from that heart space breath, we breathe right into the heart space, awakening this truth. With the out breath, we begin to open and expand that heart. Pema says we make it bigger. We're going to ride the wave of this heart-centered out breath. We let go of all obstruction, all hindrance, all objects of imagery, of ego, everything that's supposed to look a certain way, forget about it. We're sitting in the radiant, awakened heart mind, expanding and distributing with each out breath. We're just going to sit here for several minutes with that practice. This is now the sitting Buddha in you. Feel its nobility. This is what we're breathing. The truth of our capacity to awaken. This one breath. And our awakening. This does not make you a Buddhist. It just makes you a Buddha or Jesus or David or Muhammad or Allah. They are all the same. And if that feels a bit too belief oriented, you can simply rest in this primordial, innate, basic goodness, godness of you. We're going to turn all the lights on in that neural circuitry. We make sure that there is a gentle and light touch of the chin towards the chest, just gentle and light touch. We keep that airway completely linear, open, and straight with the crown of the head upwards. It invites the remembering of the humility of this human life. And its beauty. Making contact with that heart, expanding, distributing, generating with the out breath, filling the whole of the body mind with that goodness, remembering it is everywhere. And then at the end of that out breath, after we have generated the wakefulness, remembered, distributed, make sure we make it as available, as open, as receptive. We then, at the end of the out breath, open it wide. The biggest aperture on the camera is this skylight quality of heart mind. Uh, Sogyal Rinpoche used to say, shoot the golden light of you, of this awakened heart mind in all directions. And rest in that open, vast space. It is not enough. Remember, just open space, not sufficient. What are we doing in the open space? We're imbuing it with radiant, clear, pure, awakened heart mind. The sun in the mind, the moon in the heart. Feeling its spaciousness, its warm glow, its warmth. And then we smile as we remember. And then we rest in that very spaciousness, that very warmth, that radiance. And we offer it then to whatever objects arise within the field. I just heard little man snore, and I feel so grateful for his safety and his well being, for his comfort, for his ease. And it reminds me then of my own. You can offer direct blessing. You can simply make contact and smile. You can send that radiant light of the awakened heart mind right there in that direction. And then, with whatever objects we are encountering, we can offer just now that invisible internal bow. Bowing to little man in that gentle light snore, bowing to Libby in the sigh of the out breath, bowing to the clock as it ticks. And then I bow once again to that nobility within each of us that holds the capacity for this awakening. And remember, to oneself. If this feels like you're efforting, because of course we're learning as well, there will be a little less ease in the learning, and that's okay. We're learning so that we can then let go into the practice until it becomes natural. We bow to everything, to the releasing gas in my belly with that light burp, to the thoughts of Felicia and Renee, and to their families. Everything, a sacred part of the whole. Shining this radiant love and light on my husband, who I can hear beginning the wash, the laundry for the day, filled with gratitude. To the empty space itself that holds the whole of this life. We breathe in and we bow to everything, opening, opening. There is not enough technique for this. This requires the whole of your mind, body, being. This is the practice, this is the prayer, this is the vow, this is the capacity of this awakened heart mind present. And for one final moment, we recollect the good that is within and all around. And we offer all that goodness then to the benefit of all beings. And you can call those particular ones to mind. For me, I like holding my hands open once again, just gathering all that goodness as I commit the dedication and the merits of this practice to the greatest benefit. And then once again, we draw it in, not just to offer it to us, but to commit ourselves, commit this awakened heart mind and all that is to the end of suffering and the realization of true, abiding, undying, and unborn happiness and freedom. And may it be so this very breath, this very moment, and this very day. And may we commit ourselves to making it so. So be it. And then we offer the vow again. With the out breath, let that blessing, that goodness, distribute through the whole of the heart, mind, body, and then beyond the body as we begin to open our eyes and live and breathe this day with those aspirations. And if you don't know this, practice simply becomes a very boring technique and will not be sustainable. Will not be sustainable. Who needs this? Breathing in, knowing you're breathing in. Breathing out, knowing you're breathing out. It will even offer something for a little while, but it is not it with its capacity and its potency for the truth of the whole of this. Looking at a picture of my dad as a young soldier, remembering the goodness with which he thought he would change the world and have some fun. I don't know. It's interesting perspective. And interestingly, of course, he did develop many close relationships. So, what will be the reason you forget to bow? You're so welcome, Joyce. What will be the reason you forget to bow? Yeah, the mind, right out the door. Old habit, gripped, grabbed, gotcha. Takes you right away, right? Right away. So you may have to take those first few breaths with more intention in order to remember.
Remembering your true nature.
That's exactly right, Dennis. Ours and everyone else's. And if we can't remember that, we can't live it, says the neuroscience. If you can't call it to mind, heart, mind, and body, you cannot live it. If you think you're just bounding out of bed, hoping that something in you wakes itself up, the science says, no, it doesn't. You have just defaulted to the lizard brain because you already went into task positive, which is mostly autopilot as we begin. So we've got to call it to mind. That's why we begin with something gestural, with an aspiration in mind, heart, with a calling it up into the breath. Why? The breath's going with us the whole of the day. So that's called pairing, folks. For those who like the science, pairing. You're attaching the goodness to that breath. Why? I'm going to do it the whole day. If I forget the goodness, I've at least got the breath there to remind me. Oh, right. Right. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm breathing. For this purpose. And then we could vow inner or outer to that. Is there anyone here who doesn't think they can do this? And let me say it a different way. What's in your way? Because I do know there are a few things. What's in the way of this for you? I'm going to look at chat here. What would be in the way of beginning the day this way and then continuing it throughout the day? What would be in the way?
Cluttered mind.
Cluttered mind, the 10,000 other thoughts. Yep. And what would you do then when you recognized that? What would you do when you see the mind moving 10,000 thoughts about this, thoughts about that, the things I got to do, the thing, right?
Breathe deep. Breathe deep.
You would remember the truth of our thinking mind, which is to serve. Thinking mind is designed to serve the awakened heart mind. And then look at what you're doing. Is this the most useful? Is this the most benefit? And then we begin again. Thinking mind is not the enemy. It is simply designed to be of service to the awakened heart mind, right? It's going to make all that good stuff happen that you can think of to be of benefit in this day, right? We don't want to demonize the thinking mind. We just can't let it run itself without the engine of the awakened heart mind, because then you're literally just caught in that habitual doer, right? Which is solely ego going, and then I can accomplish this, and then I can make more money like that, and then I could, right? And there's no one home there. That's just mind thinking itself. Mind thinking itself into being. There's nothing of benefit. There's no remembering the sacredness. Dennis, thank you so much. The Smile at Fear book, Dennis has one in case anybody needs it. You can go to archive.org, remember, and get the chapter there as well. The shoulds and the I need tos. Yes, moving too fast, says Lynn. The shoulds and the I need tos based on what? I need to based on
Interfaith.
a belief.
My own false beliefs.
Yeah, that's right. Right? Isn't it always true, Lynn? They're not just yours in any way, are they? They're all of our gotta. It doesn't mean we don't do in a day. There is no evil in the doing. A poet once said, there is no evil in the doing, and there is no goodness until what? There is no evil in the doing, but there is no goodness until you make it so, until you imbue the dishes, the tea sip, the putting in the wash, right? And then everything, isn't it, becomes sacred. Isn't it true? The doing alone, forget about it. Forget about it. It cannot serve you. And you, in the awakening, right, have literally transformed you and the doing into what? An act of what? Kindness, love, service. Haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you woke up something to it. Are you getting this idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is no evil in the doing, says the poet.
Yeah.
There is only the evil in the what? Forgetting mind. Right? In the forgetting mind that goes, I don't know why I'm doing these fucking dishes. I'm just doing them. I'm just pissed nobody did them yesterday. Right? And then don't do them. Don't do them. Don't you dare do those dishes, because you just what printed hatred, aggression. Didn't you? You just nailed it in, folks. Don't do it. Better that you sit there all day going, I'm just going to look at the fog. Because maybe what I can do is look at the fog with some kind of ease, with some kind of openness, with some kind of remembering. Right? This beautiful day, different now, awakening to it with the fog. Be careful, because so much of what we do out of what? Gotta, habit, resentment, demand, obligation, right? And ultimately what? All aggression. It's all aggression, folks. All of it is aggression. Not one thing. If you're sweeping your floors today, yay, yippee. With love, with appreciation for the floor, with appreciation for the fact that you have a floor, with genuine care, right? We understand. Everybody get the distinctions. You can feel it in you, can't you? Also, and I have said this to my dearest friend recently, don't practice from the have to place. Forget about it. If you're sitting there for 20 something minutes the whole time going, man, I don't want to be here, don't do that. Don't do that. Go sit in the garden. Go walk your garden. Go pick a weed. If that can be done with some kind of love, appreciation, remembering the sacredness, that would be a better practice, wouldn't it? Than just sitting there.
Diana, I feel like when I remember to breathe and do my dishes or do the cleaning with the mindfulness, with love, it actually is different. Like I probably break less dishes. Like I am less rushed, I'm less, I had never used the word aggressive towards it, but yes, I'm less aggressive in my vacuuming,
Yeah. Yeah.
doing
Isn't it true, Lynn?
it's so true. It's so
Yeah.
astounding.
I wish you were only breaking a dish
Yeah. Yeah.
because you're breaking something bigger.
Yeah.
You're breaking something more sacred, aren't you? We're breaking our own awakened heart minds with the aggression towards it, with the gathas, with the demand, with right everything that we're doing with that. And really, I pay a lot of attention to dishes in particular. To dishes in particular, I've actually made it a beautiful, loving practice. I love the soapy warm water. I love how things get cleaned sort of right on the spot. Like, oh, look, it hardly took anything. There it is. And I've got these fabulous silicone things now that the minute you wipe, they're clean. Like, oh, look at this, like magic. Right. And I don't like a sink full of dishes because it has a little overwhelming effect for me. It isn't about the sink, though, is it? It's about the clutter, Dennis said, in my own mind. Right? And that's just an action I can go through, remembering, right? Just here, just now, I begin again, offering. Okay, we're going to go to the chapter. We're going to do 4 and 5. They're not very long. We are not going to do 6. The bow and the vow, yes, Tanya. The bow and the vow are inherently tied together, just so you know. There's no separation possible in them. Here is chapter 4. The sun in your head. Remember, we talked about it earlier. Can everybody see this well enough? I'm going to have to minimize you so I can't see all of you anymore. I'm just staring at the text with you. So here is the sun in your head, and we're just going to look at a few of these statements. There's some really beautiful. It says, having awakened the moon in your heart, you feel a sense of aloneness and natural heartache. Why? Because this is also a part of the truth of our human life, right? We can't get away from it now into busyness, into chronic habituated doing. He says we have to touch in to the vulnerability. That's what he means by loneliness, by the way. He's just using that very personal word. We can't get away then, can we? If we're not in chronic habitual thinking doing, we have to be willing to touch into the truth of our vulnerable human, and he says lonely, and heartache, right? The truth of being alive. Nobody gets to keep it, right? And that reality of the lizard brain, which says, a new thing, another one, right? We have natural resistance. And then the truth of nothing being permanent in it means what? We're going to have to let our hearts keep breaking. You can't get out of it. He says a sign of holding back is that you just went into bliss. He goes, you weren't paying attention then. Exactly. You weren't all awake because, yes, even in this, then we are grateful for the love that is. Remember, I was just looking at that picture of my father. We're grateful for the love that is alive, along with the sadness, the grief, the heartache that is also a part of this human life. And we can't start to get like chocolate picking. I don't like that one. I don't like that one. I only want the one I want. If you're opening to it all, that means you have to be willing, he's saying, to let your heart break. This is one of the primary reasons we don't do the practice. Like, no, I don't think so. I think I'll just stay busy. Except now you're staying some real distance, aren't you, from your true self. So this is what he's meaning. Does that make sense to everybody? I know everybody had a hard time with that. Like, what do you mean? It'd be great. Well, it would be great too. It'd be wonderful too. It would be sacred too. And then there's all of it. And that will also be heartbreaking. But can we bear the truth of the heartbreak with this awakened heart mind? And the answer is yes. He calls it heroism or warriorship, but we already remembered not of the aggressive kind, of the peaceful warrior, the one who says, I will abide this too. Right? Makes sense for everybody. This is what he's talking about. And then the next chapter, we are saying that we can transform our experience of this phenomenal coming and going world by being awake to it. We are not talking about changing water into walking on the ceiling, he says. The magic he is referring to is this magic of truly wakeful, present, loving, compassionate, right, being here. You are changing everything. We talked about it on Saturday as well, right? And you will not necessarily see its result. This is also a little frustrating for the ego, isn't it? The ego says, I want the evidence. I want the money. I want the zero. I want the goods. So I will do this, but I better see results, says every early practitioner. Don't they? Every single one of them, which is, I'm just not seeing it. It's just not working for me. I'm either just a bad meditator, you're a bad teacher, or this really just doesn't work. It's not true. It doesn't work the way you thought it would, is true. It does move us, however, from this greedy, aggressive, or delusion-seeking mind to one of true natural magic. I begin to awaken. There was nothing else for me to be doing here except this. Right. According to the Buddhist tradition in the third paragraph, the sun represents feminine principle. You heard me talk about it earlier. And the moon is the masculine. The feminine is the creator, the creative, the one with the greatest capacities for growth, right? That's why it is in the sun. The moon is different, as we're going to keep looking, but just so know, if you think about the fertility principles in creation, that might help you. He says, where do you transplant the sun? You might find this rather surprising, but the sun is in the brain, the clear seeing, radiant capacity of mind. Without it, he says, we cannot activate the moon of the heart. If you're not seeing things as they really are, what are you going to open to? And it will be diluted, right? It will be. The moon, or the masculine in this Tibetan tradition, is planted in the heart. Where are the qualities of the sun? Natural wakefulness, fearlessness, remember, radiating throughout all time, all ways. There's nothing that can get in its way. Nothing can obscure it ever. This is the nature of the sun. It shines on everything. And I love that he added, it is also gentle. It is only in life-affirming, life-creating, life-sustaining principle. It's got no other capacity at all. That's it. This natural wakefulness refers to a state of being without any struggle or aggression involved. We have to remember this, because the sun can look harsh. It isn't the sun. It's our unwillingness to abide the true principles, right? You stay out too long. You don't recognize the potency of the sun. That's actually you, not the sun's fault, right? The sun shines its radiance. That's its only job. You have to go for a little amount of time because of, right, my tenderness, my humanness. I have to be careful. Also restful, by the way. We don't want to be out and about the whole of the day, it's not in our interest or in the interest of the world to do so. But remember the word fearlessness. It's going to start coming up more and more for him. In the pink, the sun, the feminine principles transplanted or awakened in your brain. You see the need to organize your life to reflect this natural state of intelligence. And I wouldn't put or and discrimination, that you invest yourself wisely in your actions based on that clear seeing. So you would not be spending your time on Amazon or on Facebook or on scrolling, because you would recognize this is not nourishing and nurturing these beautiful, sacred, glorious, he writes, principles. You are creating a palace of your own being, rather than evoking a natural sense of dignity and splendor. The palace he's talking about, the temple, I think would be a word he would have used, actually, maybe before palace. The temple of your own being is both deserving of attention and care, and then we have to be watchful that we don't just architect stuff up, right? Which is what happens when we get into, right? Gotta have it like this, and it's gotta look like that, and they gotta wear this, and they gotta wear that. It doesn't mean we can't care for ourselves. It means we have to be watchful of this denial. I think we can get into that everything is impermanent, including this body. Let me see what he says in this. Finally, he begrudgingly, he talked about the columns being built. I did want to focus on this for a minute. He's talking about what we call innate intelligence, right? Innate intelligence. He knew something. He didn't even know what he knew or why he knew it. But it was clear to him that this needed to happen in a certain way. And I'm going to give you an example that I gave to my mindfulness class on Friday. I was in Alaska, not paying attention, not doing the right thing as I'm getting off the train, the glass top train to Denali. And I walk away from the rail, which we were instructed not to do, down into the meadow. I get into the meadow and I see a cub. The cub sees me. We have a problem. I know we have a problem. And I'm frozen. And the cub's over there, not 6 feet from me, let's say 15. And I know this mother is somewhere here. And the guy, the conductor and the guide start screaming, "Get big, get big." Because that is the normal instruction for what you do when you see a bear. There was not one thing in my body that thought getting big was a good idea. Not one thing, nothing. And I'm like, no, I can't think of a thing. I start singing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Cubs looking, what? I start backing up slowly. I see the Russell over there going, whoop, there she is. Must have called the cub because, all right, blah, blah, blah. Off they go. And I'm backing up slowly, singing happy birthday. I get up to the rail. I'm a maniac. Now, my fault, by the way. So I'm mostly mad at guess who? Me. But what do I know? Getting big is not the solution when it's a cub. Now, I didn't think that. Something just, nope, not the plan. And I went, that's not a good instruction with the babies. It probably is exactly right with the bears. But you're screaming. I'm like, this is not helpful, right? And I'm mad at him. Not really. Because the stupidity was 100% me. I'm mad at me, right? I walked away. I knew I shouldn't. I wasn't following right instructions and could have really hurt a bunch of people. My mother, number one, who's watching from the thing. right? So there's an innate intelligence. We often don't listen to it that says, no, not this, not skillful, not wise. And the one that says, yes, it is. Do this, say this, invest here, risk this. And we often don't, do we? We don't listen. So I just want you to know this is the reference. He's talking about this innate. If we can stay still, centered, and awake, we can access that, is his point. You can organize then the whole of your life around it. A sense of protection or the quality of having a container is needed in your life. This is that innate brilliance. It's there for us, actually. And I don't know that he did a great job talking about it here. I don't feel like he did, unfortunately. But it is this intelligence that he is talking about is ever available and can shine not only on you, for you, but then on everything else. And then you become skillful, don't you, in your speech? You become skillful in your life because you go, wait a minute, this isn't about me or you. This is about the good, for the goodness of us all. Right? And that's the point. That's the key. And that, he says, is the brilliance of the warriorship. It is not enough to have innate objects creating the arrangement of space. It's not good enough to have a clean house, is what he means. It's not right, especially, what did I say? When you do it from the place of greed or aggression, or deluded because that's just what you do. You get up every morning and brush your teeth. You didn't feel the toothbrush on your teeth, right? You don't even know why you're doing it. You're just, right? He says this is a mistake. And does the mandala principle is everything, every dot, then some reflection, some representation, some support to that innate goodness, or not, to the habit, to that's just what I do. This is how I do it. I'm a little disgusted by it myself. I'm just sloshing through because I'm not awake to the reality of the mandala of the whole of my life. Every moment then matters. When you transplant the sun of wisdom in your head, there is wakefulness. There's a natural sense of existence, aliveness, and there is genuineness, the reality of this being alive in this precious human life. It is quite a cheerful world, extraordinarily delightful. Isn't that cool? And then he goes on to talk about the indestructible nature of the awakened heart mind. It is never gone. It is never not present. It is never not available to you. He says it is the warriorship is a natural process of growth. We already know it is because we're already sitting here going, yeah, I do want to imbue more of my life with the whole of me and the good heart mind and the wakeful heart mind. That feels like a right thing to do, and we are correct. We then plant the moon, he says, only after the sun in our hearts. We see clearly that a life without love, a life without gentleness, a life without wakefulness is merely a slog. And you know it, and I know it too. Then we plant the sun in our heads. We plant the moon in our hearts, bringing wakefulness to everything. To everything. And this is the prayer then that is alive. We bring it to everything, right? The sipping the tea, the petting the dog, the wishing for others' happiness and well-being. Planting the sun in your head is connected with the development of that prajna, is the Sanskrit word. Prana is the Pali word. That intelligence that I spent some time talking about back there. The intellect or prajna represents the sharpest point in our experience. I don't know, sharp. Clear might be one of the ways you would think of that. Prajna teaches us to be precise. That means to act really skillfully, to act with benefit, to really, and do so consistently, right? Because we're so present, so available. However, neither of them is rejected or accepted per se. Neither what? We begin to realize there are differences between these two ways of being, right? And the samsaric, or the one that leads to suffering, and the one that leads to enlightenment, as we talked about on Saturday, available just this moment, no other. And there is a distinction both in felt sense and in its result, or in its merits. This intelligence helps us begin to discriminate, just like me with that bear. Nope, getting big right now, not a good idea. If we understand how to go about things in our own life already, then we will develop a natural sense of how not only to be there for ourselves, but how to offer this wisdom, this skill, this compassion, this love, this benefit to others. And it is just inherently true. In some sense, let me read this down here. It is possible, and it has been done in the past, to take an attitude toward oneself that is quite positive. Oh, then we see ourselves as a benefit, is what he's saying. Then we recognize ourselves as an asset. Then we see everything we think, speak, say, and do as an opportunity to, right, contribute something. And there is no other thought. There is no other thought. We can't, it would be crazy to go, wait a minute, whatever happened in the past has nurtured this to here, and now I could only be a benefit to it. I could only use it well. And it's lovely. He talks about Joe Schmo. I love that no, he changed it to Joe Schmidt. Actually, I've listened to tapes. He actually says Joe Schmo. But he changed it. He must have heard that somewhere in where he was and thought it was funny. Everyone holds a natural dignity. And can we recognize that Buddha nature or that dignity in everyone? Now, I thought it was funny that he used the word Karen, because, Karen now has that, privileged, white, middle class, right, kind of connotation in our current. And he picks Karen. Everything has a natural dignity in it. Really? Yes, actually. And your wisdom, your intelligence, your radiant sun and glowing moon can find it, is the point. In the warrior's world, you are the king or the queen of your domain, and you are the one to see clearly what is the truth and how then to respond to it. There is no deceit. There is no pretense. There is no ego in it. And that leads to the Vajra, or diamond-like reality of wakefulness. That's all it could be then, right? I'm not trying to do anything that's just about me. I understand the reality of the interconnectedness of everything. And the reason I am here is actually to contribute something. I have been gifted this precious human life, this moment, towards indestructible, always available wakefulness and love, both the sun and the moon. And he writes, that undeniable presence. You cannot get inside a diamond. It is complete in and of itself. It is indestructible, unassailable, The quality of this heart mind uses words like unconditioned, unborn, undying, no sign, no limit, no boundary, no color, no age, no time. It is beyond all of those dimensions, and it is true, and it is yours, and it is not only yours, it is also the capacity of that Joe and that Karen and that other guy. When we forget, we are immediately falling into the ego. The moment we forget, we are once again caught in a moment of ego, of arrogance, or of self-loathing. They are equal enemy to this capacity of heart mind. Seeing it then, though, is beautiful. It will help you discover gentleness and goodness in your life. Really, what he would add is in every moment. And it will help you organize your priorities properly, right? The word warrior is neutral, as we've already said. If we said warriorette or warrioress, he says it would diminish it. It would genderize it in a way that it is not accurate or true. Now, we're struggling in our current world, aren't we? Where is gender relevant? Where is it not relevant? How do you include it? How do you not include it? Because it would only diminish. This is we're in the binary argument right now. We don't even know how to hold this thing, right? At all. We're going, it's not relevant. It's completely relevant. When is it relevant? When isn't it relevant? Beautiful inquiry. We're not doing that well. I wouldn't say, are we? We're not doing so well because we're going, no, it should be like this. No, we've got to get rid of all binary. No, it is relevant. Well, it's relevant, we've decided, if you're a boxer from whichever Eastern European country that is, and in one punch, you literally push that woman's nose into her brain. Might be relevant there. Might not be relevant at all in another moment where there was no harm, where it doesn't matter, where the feminine masculine isn't the point. And there is a place, isn't there, where it isn't. It doesn't matter which parts you have here. You too are deserving of care and attention. And it does matter if you're going to cause harm with it, because there are essential inherent realities. He's saying, just know this is your natural intelligence. It's here. The feminine principle is powerful. It's non-aggressive. It's only for clear seeing, like the bright light. The masculine provides the handle for the flame. The stick you hold in your hand is the masculine principle. It is solid, reliable, friendly comradeship. The blade is regarded as the feminine principle, which actually cuts through the situation, a little like Manjushri and the sword. Clear seeing, remember, that's the sun's capacity. It can produce blood, like the birth and death. What connects or joins the sun and the moon is the genuineness, the straightforwardness, the diamond-like reality. These two principles are joined together without deception. It is the diamond-like manifestation of our own Buddha nature that is now put into practice, I would say, enlivened by our very being. Next week, we'll go on to sacred world. I had read chapter 6, of course, which is where I got the word sacred. It is one we'll keep using because it's important. I want to just check in here. It's already 8:30 something. I'm trying to open this. Let's see if I can do it. Here we go. All right. I'm going to end the share so we don't have that in the middle of us. So we're going to be practicing what? The bow, beginning with the bow. We're going to be bowing at the beginning of the day. We're going to be bowing invisibly and otherwise. And otherwise, it will be a risk for you. People are going to go, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you something? No. Just honoring this moment is all you have to say. Honoring you in this moment. And honoring the moment itself, right? And then the practice that we did, you'll get this recording for the practice, seeing where you can feel then the difference between the sun and the moon. The sun, clear seeing, ever bright, radiant, shining on all things. The moon, this sort of glowing connection and presence, bringing light to everything, even things that are otherwise in the dark. Okay, everyone. Good to see you. Lynn, do we have what we need for Philabelly?
Well, almost. We need 2 entrees,
Entrees.
2 main courses that
Okay.
are not chicken.
Signed up for. Okay.
That are
This
not
is this Thursday. This is next Thursday.
not this Thursday, next Thursday.
It is not this Thursday. It is next Thursday. Today we have Lisa Talamini shopping for the St. Andrew's Food Pantry that we've talked about already. They are in need of beans. Why? They've run out of stuff. San Diego Food Bank's in trouble. We are in trouble. The people we try to contribute to are in trouble. So they asked for a lot of beans. And so we are about the business of buying them. We have currently $400. If you'd like to contribute something, let me or Lisa know. If you'd like to contribute an entree to next Thursday's Philabelly, please let Lynn know. Lynn, can you just rattle off your phone number? I know it's 858. You're covered. Unmute.
Sorry, 858-245-1478, and I've just put it in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you. So we're still looking, thanks for that so much. We're still looking for 2 entrees. The entrees are supposed to feed 25 or so, 30
Yeah.
people.
So the guideline that Philabelly gave us was 30 to 40 good-sized scoops.
30 to 40 scoops. Okay,
Scoops,
good to
that's-
know.
Yeah.
We doubled our chili, I think, wouldn't you say? When we made it. 3 pounds. So Libby did 3 pounds of chili. I did 6 cups of rice for the Spanish rice.
I did. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No.
I was going to say I did 2 large crock pots of a stew, and it all went. So, you just
Yeah.
have to.
Gives you some. I believe that Greg buys a couple of chickens. Lynn, do you know how many?
But he said the first time I know he bought 4, and then he talked about buying 5 for the second time. I don't know that he did that, but at least 4.
Okay. So that was considered one entree, wasn't it?
That was 1 entree, yes.
Okay. So I do know that the chicken was a big hit. Why? People can chew it easily. People often have dental issues. Things that are too hard or crunchy can be hard. Just know that is also an option. And Greg, I think, got the chickens that he then cut up.
So we actually have 2 chicken entrees coming.
Coming already.
Yes,
Yay.
we do it already. So that's
We
why
don't
I'm
need more
suggesting
chicken.
something other than chicken.
We don't need chicken. We can get stuck in the noodle department, but it sounds like we didn't do that this time.
Oh, actually, we do need 1 side dish. Yeah,
Okay.
so no, we did for entrees. No, we did not get stuck with a lot of noodles.
A lot of noodles, which
But
I'm
maybe 1 noodle entree would be nice.
Yeah. All right. So those for the people who are thinking about an entree. We also would like you, if possible, to serve it because we need support there as well. And so please be letting Lynn know. And I will look forward to seeing you this Thursday morning. Greg is in Florence, Italy at the present moment. And so he's going to be there for a couple weeks for the month of April. I will be doing Thursday. We'll go right into practice on Thursday from 7:05 to about 7:30. So plan for that. Look forward to seeing you all. And let's put our hands together. I know we're late, and thank you for being here for the Bodhisattva prayer, the awakened prayer, the prayer of all awakened ones throughout all time. May I be a guard for those who need protection, a guide for those on the path, a boat, a raft, a bridge for those who wish to cross the flood. May I be a lamp in the darkness, a resting place for the weary, a healing medicine for all who are sick, a vase of plenty, a tree of miracles. And for the boundless multitudes of living beings, may I bring sustenance and awakening, enduring like the earth and the sky, until all beings are free from sorrow and all are awakened. And may this practice today contribute to the wellness, to the happiness, to the ease of all beings. So be it. Thank you all so very much. I appreciate your sticking around for the prayer. Thank you. Thank you, Ricardo. So lovely to meet you, to see you. I look forward to seeing you again. Lori, good to see you on as well. See you all on Thursday. We will be in the garden this very Saturday at 7:30. We look forward to seeing you all. Good luck with your bowing. I'll offer one final to get us started. Here we are. Yay. Be well, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.